everybody. Bienvenidos. Welcome all. Thank you for joining. My name is Carmen Graciela Diaz. I'm a Puerto Rican cultural journalist, and I'm the director of the Bilingual Journalism program. And this new program that we have, it's so wonderful to have you all. We have some folks from our Newmark School, which I am so honored to have. Lily, Allison, Jeremy, of course, Diane. Thank you all for being here with us. I'm joined by Jeremy, who will be also sharing the space with me, and I'm so grateful for that. Jeremy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jeremy Kaplan, and I'm excited about this program because it's really the first MA program we've hosted online at the school, and it's going to be a really exciting and forward-looking program. We have such an exciting range of courses, which you'll hear about in a few minutes, and I'm just delighted to be at the school. I've been here since 2008, and it's exciting to see the school just continuing to explore new things and serve journalists in new ways. So excited to be here.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. Why don't we start? We have a brief presentation for all of you. And of course, it will be super dynamic in the sense that you can all jump in. Jeremy will also be sharing some updates. Well, Jeremy just said we're super excited to be launching this online MA in bilingual journalism. This is part of our tradition of innovation in school. We're always top notch, and I'm so proud of all the wonderful work that we're always thinking at school with our wonderful colleagues at staff, faculty, and even our students. I think that something that drives the innovation of our school is not only the current state of the industry of journalism, but also our students and their needs. So this is part of our expansion of our efforts in the bilingual journalism program and at Newmark. This will be bilingual. Sometimes I will be sharing in Spanish. Sometimes I will be sharing in English. That's why we're saying hola. Somos sus anfitriones. We're today's hosts, Jeremy and Carmen Graciela. Well, first of all, Jeremy was sharing a little bit about this. This online masters will begin in early 2026, and we hope to prepare the next generation of English and Spanish speaking professionals to thrive in today's media landscape. And notice that we're using the word thrive. It's very intentional. It's not saying to have success, it's not saying to survive, it's saying to thrive. So the intentionality here is that you can be able to excel in today's media landscape and to forge your own path as leaders, entrepreneurs, or independent journalists. This is very important in the program. This is part of our tradition at school that we don't want to teach journalists that just want to be part of, they just want to write or either they want to audio. No, they're thinking both ways. They're thinking about not only their own creative practice as journalists, but also thinking about ways of reinventing the industry, either by launching their own projects or being part of a community of thinkers that are considering this idea of entrepreneurship. I have this lovely picture that we have as part of the bilingual journalism program because this new program is adapted from our successful MA in bilingual journalism. This accessible format broadens our scope beyond the US-based Latino communities to include topics relevant to the wider Spanish-speaking news world. What does this mean? That in our bilingual program in person in New York, we are focusing into the Latino experience in the US. With this new program, we're hoping that we can expand horizons and that we can think about the broader context of Spanish speaking communities. They can be in the US, they can be in Latin America, they can be in the Caribbean, they can be in Spain, they can be anywhere in the world. And that is why we're so excited. It's almost like a way of opening the world for all of you. We have some exciting courses in our bilingual curriculum. We're thinking about local reporting and in-depth journalism. We're thinking about product development and audience engagement, be reporting. So we have a course of immigration, very centered in that beat. We also have the beat of covering identity. We consider identity one of our top-notch, approaches into thinking about the experience of communities and how they belong in the world. So this is a very interesting intersectional course, and we also have courses like entrepreneurial and data journalism in our curriculum. But Jeremy will share a little bit about the wonderful course that he is developing. He's developing an AI in journalism course, and it's a delicious approach to this urgent topic. So I'm going to let him share a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Carmen Graciela. Yeah, this has been a really exciting moment for journalism in terms of thinking about how the technology is changing yet again, right? We had the moment where the internet emerged as a way for journalists to gather information and distribute information. Then we had the social media era, right, where we were using social media to gather information and distribute information. And we had the mobile era where we're using mobile devices like our phones and tablets to gather information and distribute information in new ways. And now we have yet another period of innovation and change. And it's both challenging and also exciting. And in this AI course, we're focusing on a few different things. We're focusing on wrestling with some of the ethical questions. So, what are the considerations that we should have in mind as journalists and as news organizations in terms of what is acceptable use of AI, and how should we think about our relationships and partnerships with AI organizations, and how should we think about the environmental impacts of AI and so forth. We also think about how news organizations are already using AI to advance their data journalism investigations, for example, and to do really groundbreaking and award-winning work that wouldn't have been possible without this new technology. And we look at news organizations around the world and what they're doing that's really innovative and interesting and exciting with AI as a tool to do their great journalism with humans running the show, right? And then finally, we look at how we as journalists, individual journalists, can use AI to not only work more efficiently and more effectively, but even to improve the quality of our work by having an AI assistant to help us in ways that are ethical and still focus on remaining as human as we are and as we can be, but working in creative new ways. So the course is really an exploration of all of those topics and a way for us to move to the forefront of what's happening in the industry and what's ahead, so that we're all prepared for these massive changes that are taking place as we speak in news organizations and among individual journalists.
Thank you, Jeremy, so much. That is so exciting. And this is a demonstration of how our program will work. It's important to say this is a bilingual program. And just like our program, you will have some courses in Spanish and some courses in English. So in this case, we literally half and half. So half are in English, half are in Spanish, but we will all be thinking about ways of improving the media industry, but your own creative practice as a journalist, editor, news leader. So why choose this program? I mean, we have so many opportunities, in the world, but we're very confident that we're sharing with all of you the possibility of flexibility. We're in need of thinking new ways of educating ourselves and of teaching. So this will be 100% online. This is an asynchronous program, so that means that you can do the courses at your own pace. It will be a very interesting rhythm, and that way, no matter where you live or the conditions around you, either you are in New York or you are abroad, you are in Colombia, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Spain. It can be anywhere in the world. You can be able to do this program without borders and without the need to relocate, which is a big difference from our traditional in-person program that you will need to relocate to New York City and the New York area. Expert faculty, oh wow, I'm so proud of the wonderful faculty that we have. We have there Jeremy, who is also our director of teaching. We have wonderful folks that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. And to me, these folks are a great representation of experts that are thinking of broadening ways of doing journalism, both in the US and the Latin American media. They have that knowledge and that understanding. To me, in my own journalistic practice, I'm always thinking about context. And I think that this program is broadening the context in many ways. You will also have wonderful guests that will be joining. This will be top bilingual experts that they will be joining in some way or the other, the different courses that we have. And of course, I think that it's not merely educating yourself, but thinking about the rendering that it will have in your career. You will gain cross-border reporting skills that are in demand right now worldwide. Okay. Three reasons why this program can give you a kickstart to your career. Well, we will offer you cutting edge skills. That way you are able to master the journalistic landscape of not only today, but of tomorrow, because we're always forward thinking. You will have a global cohort, which is wonderful. I mean, how many times do you have the opportunity to be in an environment in which you will have people that not only will enrich your own perspectives, but they will enrich the experience of the class. This will be this intention is that we can even improve our own Spanish language media, which will be so beautiful that we can energize the journalism that we are doing, no matter if we are a journalist that has been working in a media company for 10 years, or that maybe you have been there for 20 years, or that you're even starting. It's an opportunity to energize given the global connotations of the program and also the flexibility. With this program, this is self-paced, this is travel-free, and you will get all the expertise of one of the top tier US journalism schools. This is part of the professors that we have. They are so wonderful, and I get so excited when I see this image because it's a collection of all of their faces and their experiences. We have folks from the New York Times, from Telemundo, from Newsday, freelancers from the Consorcio Internacional de Periodistas Investigativos, from the New York Times, from Newmark. You have writers there, you have people that are know really how to teach. It's not merely journalists that are wonderful, but they all know how to teach, which is such a wonderful thing. Something very important that I think that is key to remember is that this bilingual program comes from the tradition of our bilingual in person, and some of the experiences that are 10 generations of bilingual students have had is that they have been able to get jobs, internships, fellowships in some of these wonderful places that I include here: Radio Ambulante, El Faro, NBC, Fact Chequeado, the New York Times, Centro de Periodismo Investigativo de Puerto Rico. You see, Noel, I didn't know that you were going to be here, and I'm giving you a shout out because of all the admiration that I have. Enlace Latino, BBC Mundo, Quinto Elemento. In this online program, you will have that experience in some way or the other of meeting interesting folks and even of having opportunities to better your journalism given all of this tradition that we have in this program. Another important reason to choose this program is that you will be being in this next generation of journalists that are seeking career advancement through the Newmark J-School approach. And I think that is wonderful. This is not only reshaping the industry. I feel so honored to think about the journalism education perspectives because it's not only thinking about traditional roles in journalism, but also thinking about leadership and about transforming the way that our media landscape works by preparing wonderful people. And you can be one of these wonderful people. You can be one of these rising stars, no matter if you are a young journalist, no matter if you are a journalist that has been working for many years, that you have been dreaming about a master and maybe you have not done a master, or maybe you are a career changer. These are wonderful opportunities to just think about the possibilities that you can give to yourself and to your own career. Applications open soon, very, very soon, and our deadline will be December 5th. So it's important for all of you to know that if you're excited, please come to our website. You will see a little window there that says join us. You can leave us your information there because you can start working on your application from this point at this moment, and that way you're able to advance because as soon as we get your application we will be able to review it, and that way you don't have to wait until the deadline of December 5th. These are some of the elements that you will find in our website, so I really encourage you to visit the website. I'm going to leave you that website in the chat box. But just to give you a very brief idea, we need your resume, a personal statement of why you want to do this online program and why the focus of bilingual and of covering Spanish and English communities is so important to you. Writing samples in English and in Spanish. References, we will be requesting some letters of references, and of course, transcripts. Of course, this will vary, and we encourage you to come. And of course, I really hope that you can join us. In this website, we have a video there that can give you a glimpse of our professors and our curriculum. But I think that the key is that we really want you all and your peers to succeed and to thrive. I'm in love with this word, to thrive in the journalistic industry, because we will give you the foundation to succeed. It's not only in a digital world, but a multilingual and global world in all the sense of that thought, right? So I really hope that you can join us, and we really want to open up for questions. And I hope, Jeremy, if there's something that you want to echo or add that I might have missed that I think might be important for folks to know.
Yeah, thanks, Carmen Garcia. I think you've given a great overview of the program. One thing I'll add is that, the nature of online programs, they vary a lot. There's different kinds of online programs. Some people think of an online program and they think of, watching YouTube videos. One of the things that's really exciting, I think, and impactful about this program is that it's really hands-on. So just like the work we do in the in-person programs that we have, this online program has you creating things right from the beginning of each course. You are working on stories, you are working on multimedia in the multimedia courses, in the data journalism courses, you're working on analyzing data, creating your own data visualizations, doing things maybe you've done a little bit of and now you're going to do at a higher level, or maybe you haven't had a chance to try out that particular skill in audio journalism or video journalism or data journalism. In the entrepreneurial course, which is another one of the courses that I've developed, you will be actually building your own venture. If you already have a venture, you're going to work on advancing that. If you haven't had a chance to create a venture yet or experiment with that, you have this chance in this course to really make something in the world. And that's, I think, an important part of how this program is structured, and why I think it's really valuable, because it's, again, not just passive, not just listening, but actually learning by doing, which is really, really important. And as Carmen Graciela mentioned, you get the benefit of doing that in an environment that works for you, right? In a place where you're already living, let's say, and in a schedule that's flexible so that you can accommodate the things that you already have in your life, and without having to relocate, which can be often a barrier for people in moving to New York City. So those are just a few additional things that I wanted to mention. And it'd be great to have your questions. Anything you're curious about or wondering about the program or about the school, or about any of the courses.
Yes, please jump in. Please let us know. I'm going to leave in this chat box a little bit of information so you can either email us or if you can share now. Camila, I see you. Let's do this. I'm going to stop sharing so that I'm able to see you much better. Hi, Camila.
Hello, everyone. I work in sales, so that was a lovely pitch, and I am persuaded. Thank you. Uh, my question is really, you mentioned briefly audio journalism. What's that course gonna look like? I'm really drawn to storytelling in a podcast manner. And just curious if you could dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yes, we will definitely replicate the experience that we have in Newmark of our audio journalism. We have one of the top programs in audio, and we will be doing that, but we need to rethink it because it will be in an online setting. So we will be requesting people to do all of that engagement that you would have in a traditional class, but in the online setting. Professors will be working closely with students, and that way you will be getting mentorship in that sense. There you can expect a lot of one-on-one in that sense, because even if it's an online setting, we're trying to replicate that idea that journalists need editors and they need that back and forth of ideas which enrich our different projects. So you can expect that even if you're going to have weekly modules that you will be completing through assignments, you will be listening to a lot of interesting podcasts that hopefully amplify your perspective, but you hopefully can expect some practical elements. But in order to gain the practical, you will be meeting with your professor. So that is how it's an interesting way of continuing the work, but with that close mentorship, that even though we're not in person, that we will be in that connection that we have in the in-person program, but you will have those check-ins with the professor so they can help you improve the project that you might be thinking of, or the pitch that you might be thinking of as you develop it.
Just to add a little bit, there's a mix of theory and practice, right? So it's a little bit about understanding what makes for great storytelling and looking at examples and listening to examples of great storytelling in audio format in that class from around the world. And then also practicing the skill of writing for audio, writing for the ear, editing audio, and thinking about what tools you're using and how you're using them and how that can translate to the professional world in terms of audio jobs that are available, right? We're thinking in a very practical way. And blending the insights, journalistic insights that apply to other kinds of journalism to the very new way in which audio journalism is now practiced around the world.
Anybody else? Yunus, I see you. Thank you, Camila. Hi, Yunus, I see you.
Hello, how are you? Fine, thanks.
Hi,
And
we're
you?
doing good. Thank you for joining.
I am from Turkey. I love office working and cursor education.
I don't hear you very well, Yunus, if you
Do you
can.
have a question, Eunice? Do you have a question for us?
Yes, I have questions. Yes, okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us, Eunice.
Oh, thank you so much. And you can, Yunus and everybody, you can definitely email us. I'm going to also drop here. Maybe if I could share for a moment our website. Let me go. I'm going to share very quickly the website because I know that, Jeremy, thank you for sharing our website in the chat box, but I really want to take the opportunity now that we're all together to navigate it a little bit. You will have here the description of the program. This video is important because that way you can meet some of the professors and a little bit of our philosophy behind the program and the curriculum. Of course, the announcement of our different programming that we're doing, like today, we will have an AI program soon led by Jeremy. But if you go to this part, the join us part, in this join us part, you will be able to have a glimpse of what we're going to request in terms of applications, but you can also leave us there your name and your email, and that way we can start communication with you. So if you have any question as you are preparing your application, that's something that definitely we can help you along the way. And of course, you will have here the different frequently asked questions. You can see the admission requirements, how this program is different, what's the duration of the program and the format. So there's some questions in there, including the cost, including if you need to move. So different questions that we have been getting so that you're able to have that in mind. So I'm going to leave also in our chat box our join us form. And that way you can share with us your email so we can keep the conversation going. So let me put it here.
And while you're doing that, Carmen Garcia, I want to just reply to a great question from Camila. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Camila, about peer feedback. How are we counting? You're asking in the chat, how are we accounting for peer-to-peer feedback? And that's a really, really important point. So thanks for raising it. One thing I want to say is this is a small program. It's a program that allows for high contact between professors and students. And that means that you get direct feedback from the instructors, but you also get feedback and collegial input from peers. So for example, in the entrepreneurial context, when people are sharing ideas and discussing ideas, they're doing it in a collaborative way, right? There's multiple ways in which you're getting input and feedback from colleagues and talking about ideas with colleagues in the program. Even though you're not in the same place, you're very much connected to the rest of the group. And this is very much intended as a cohort so that it's not that you are kind of isolated and learning on your own, but rather you're learning as part of a group, as part of a cohort. And one of the things that I think will be really exciting about this cohort, and I've seen this in the entrepreneurial programs that we've run online for many years, is that some of the most helpful ideas sometimes come from your peers, and your peers are often part of this new network that you're building, right? You have these new contacts sometimes in countries around the world, sometimes in other organizations, other news organizations. So you're building a network, you're building new peers, you're getting new input from peers and from the instructor, and you're in this kind of global classroom, which is really pretty exciting. It's pretty great. And you're doing it in a way that's flexible, right? Because one of the challenges with learning all at the same time in the same place is that not everyone has a schedule that allows for that. So this allows you to both have peers and get feedback and give feedback, but not have to shake up your entire life and relocate. And just in terms of practical ways, we do that partly through Padlets, through discussion boards, through sort of online mechanisms. We had, the pandemic was a horrible thing in so many ways, but one small silver lining was we got to explore and experiment a lot with different ways of learning and teaching online, and which things are really frustrating and challenging and which things actually work kind of well online. And so we're able to benefit from some of those insights and some of those experiments that we tried during the pandemic so that we can make this program as effective online as possible.
Sweet. Thank you, Jeremy.
Camila, thank you so much for letting us know about the Google form. Alison, thank you so much. He just shared the form again, and that way, hopefully, you're able to edit it. Please let us know, and we can definitely modify that. Thank you so much. Hi, Ricardo, I think I see your question. Thank you so much for your question. Ricardo is asking, does this program have investigative courses for documentary concentration? We have an in-depth reporting course. And in this in-depth reporting course, our idea is to continue our tradition of investigative, hands-on, in-depth reporting, but you can modify this either for documentary that you might be working, for an article, either long form, or that you just want to have an understanding of doing in-depth. You can apply this to audio journalism as well. So for us, it's an idea of giving you the foundation of in-depth reporting and presenting memos to a professor and doing the work that needs to happen in order to make investigations flow across time and the different tasks that you will have, but that you can apply them hopefully to different formats. Thank you for that question. Anybody else that might have any question that we might be missing? Oh, my pleasure, Ricardo, my pleasure. I thank you all so much. I'm starting to see some emails there. Of course, please let us know if you're able to go into the form. You can leave us there your emails, and that way we can definitely get back to you. And Camila, thank you. Please jump in.
I apologize if I'm
No, please. Thank you so much, of course.
I know you guys make it pretty you know, you're straight up you're talking about financial aid. Does that apply for FAFSA as well for people that are in the US? Or is that something that could be applied to this program?
No, right, Allison? Not at the moment.
You can apply for federal financial aid for the program. We don't offer any scholarship support at this time. And there are tuition payment plans available.
Lovely. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Any other questions that we might have here that might be a benefit for us to clarify? And if not, we want the communication super open. Please jump in, let us know. I'm going to also leave the email of the program. So Jeremy, if you want to add something while I'm looking for that email, that way I can put it in the chat box, I would appreciate it.
Absolutely. One thing I'll mention is that we're going to continue this conversation in the weeks and months ahead. Obviously, some of you may be interested in the program. You may have colleagues or friends who might be interested in the program, and we want to give you as much information as we can and help you think through the opportunity, whether for yourself or others who you work with or others who you know. And one of the next opportunities you have to join us if you're interested is on October 8th. At 11 a.m., the same time as we are joining today, we are going to have a follow-up session, and we'll have the good fortune of being joined by Maria Sanchez-Diaz of the New York Times, who is a forward thinker, is teaching a really remarkable course in this program, which is a brand new course which has to do with product thinking and thinking about the next generation of journalism, and very much informed by the insights that the New York Times has gained. And Maria Sanchez-Diaz has worked at numerous organizations and is bringing insights from those organizations about where bilingual journalism is today and where it's heading. And that's going to be an opportunity to kind of explore the field a little further, learn more about her course and what we mean by product thinking and developing new kinds of products in journalism. So that's a really exciting discussion that we're planning for on October 8th, if you want to join us for that. And other conversations will be ongoing throughout the fall.
Camila, you were asking something, and I wanted to make sure that we responded. Oh, yes, for this. Yes. You're wondering if you will be able to see the list of courses in the website? For the moment, we're just giving a peek into the courses, but that is something that maybe we can consider later on, putting the whole list. But yeah, I think that it's very important, and thank you for asking that. We really want to hone in the idea of getting both journalism skills that we feel are super important, getting the thematic foundation of having identity, immigration, data journalism course, but also having the practical aspects of the media landscape. And that's when data, in the reporting, local reporting classes come into play as examples, because we really want to hone both, as Jeremy was saying, both the theory and the practice. But for the moment, we're just giving a peek into those courses. That's definitely something that we can definitely later on put the whole list. Thank you for putting that in our minds. Thank you.
One thing that is, I think, exciting about the program, at least from our internal perspective, my perspective, is that these courses are all custom made for this particular program. So, sometimes you'll see in online programs a course that's kind of like an old course that's somehow recorded 10 years ago, let's say, in an online program, and is kind of fading from relevance. And these courses are all being custom made for this particular program, for this modality, in this particular way. So that means that everything is being thought of very specifically for this format, for this subject matter, for this moment, right? 2025, 2026, when this program begins, is very different from 2016 or 2020. And so that I think is very important about this. This is all fresh. The data journalism course, the immigration course, the local reporting course, the entrepreneurial course, the AI course, all of these courses, the legal ethics and safety course, the video course, the audio course, all of these courses, which are core part of the curriculum, are all basically brand new. They're built on courses that we've taught. So there's an underlying structure and curriculum that we have at the school, but they're all custom made for this format, for this modality, for this structure, for this online asynchronous kind of format, which is it's a unique thing.
Yeah, we're in this moment right now of course development, and we're deep diving into that, and it's very exciting. So that's why you see our faces, starting to shine, because it's really wonderful to think about ways of teaching, but adapted to the online world. So we're super excited about that. Yeah.
And one thing I would just accentuate that Carmen Graciela mentioned about the faculty is every single one of these people is a journalist, is a practicing journalist, is someone who's in the field doing this work, thinking about these questions, wrestling with these questions, using these tools, doing these stories, working with professional outlets. It's not, theoreticians just thinking about things in an abstract way. It's really practical journalists who are sharing what they've learned and what they're doing day to day, and exploring, with the students, the subjects that they're teaching, because there's new tech emerging, there's new tactics emerging, there's new examples emerging, there's new free speech challenges emerging. All of this is emerging as we speak.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I already saw, I give a quick glimpse into the Google form. Thank you for already leaving us your emails. Please take use of it. We will be in contact with you, and that way we can follow up. Applications open very soon. And I want to emphasize that as soon as you have your materials, the sooner the better that you're able to apply. That way we're able to review your application and keep this ball moving. We're super excited. Our launch is incoming. We will be starting early 2026. So we're super excited, and we thank you all for coming and sharing of your valuable time with us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.